I think we were all pretty stunned in November when Trump won the election, and I think that's true across the political spectrum. My hope in this talk is to take some insights from sociology and use that to inform our overall sort of analytical map of the various factors that came to propel Trump to the White House. The connection between our social context and who we are when we go vote is incredibly complex. And sociologists have spent a lot of time trying to understand how our decisions that we make are informed by the context in which we are nourished. Instead of thinking that voters are completely rational, right? That they have sort of a menu of options. What happens is oftentimes we're propelled by our emotions. How we feel about a candidate or how we identify with a candidate. And I think that's the secret to understanding the power of Donald Trump, is not the reasoning, like an Enlightenment democratic reasoning that's behind voters' decisions to vote for him, but a feeling that he inspired among his voters. Sociologists have a long history of looking at how emotion creates the context for collective identity. When we feel a certain kind of energy that comes from group activity, whether it's something like being in a huddle at a football game or being enraptured in a religious ceremony, we're not just feeling that power of an individual, but we're feeling the power of the group. So sociologists call this collective effervescence. So I'm going to take a look at how the Trump rallies, for example, are sort of an example of how collective effervescence can build within a community and create an identity of the Trump supporter, and therefore radicalize politics. Probably one of the most important things that I want to talk about is how we have become more polarized politically in our communities. We are politically segregated in a way we haven't been in recent history. And our media is politically segregated. And a lot has been said about this. But what we haven't talked a lot about is how this geographic and media separation keeps us from empathizing, keeps us from understanding the viewpoint of the other. And so this political separation and radicalization makes us feel like we have no idea what the other side is thinking. We are so disconnected from how the other political side thinks that we become even more radicalized in our politics. Bill Bishop's research also shows that people are less likely to just come into contact with people whose values are drastically different from theirs. And they're not getting it from the media because now people tend to watch the media that just confirms what they already believe and what they already think. And all of this means that if we're not spending time together, if we're not around each other, then we're not promoting shared narratives and shared understandings. So we get to a point where people might be like, I have no idea why somebody would vote for Hillary Clinton, or I have no idea why somebody would vote for Donald Trump, because we literally have narratives that are so different that we can't actually understand each other.